Hello and welcome to the program, the Victor Wiltz Show morning. Happy Wednesday. All right. Reaching that halfway point through the week. Gotta love that. And I hope you had a good day yesterday and morning is going nice so far. Yesterday, for the first time, I got out and voted early for the presidential election and all of the upcoming local races and initiatives. Early voting is pretty cool. It was, kind of packed, but they had so many polling stations. I was in and out of there in like 5 minutes. Definitely a little bit quicker than some of the crowds I've encountered, voting on election day. So if you're, sure how you're going to vote, I think most people are at this point. I guess you never know. Some people might be, going back and forth till the last minute. But if you know how you're going to vote, get out and vote early. It's kind of nice to just have it over with. Then on election day, I can just do nothing but sweat it like everybody does after they get out and vote. I just get to go straight home. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I don't know why I've never tried that before, but recommend it if you just want to get her done and not have to worry about it. So that was pretty much my day yesterday. Nothing else really interesting going on. It was, Tuesday. Meh. But I can tell you what, we got plenty to talk about today. Got changes in the Primus world, and we got giveaways going on. Final day to get signed up to win some sweet gear from No Limit Guitar Company. So, yeah, we'll have some fun today. But just want to remind you, we're less than a week away from the election. Do your part. Get out and vote. I've been looking at the, what would I call this here? Still waking up. For some reason, it's really hot in this studio. Let's turn on the AC. Who else is turning on AC right now? Probably nobody. But been looking at some of the stats on early voting, and young people, you got to get out and vote. Maybe everybody's waiting for election day. But so far with early voting, it's pretty much 50 and up is about 2/3 of the returns that I was seeing online. So, yeah, those of you under 50, come on, do your part. What are you doing? You're not too busy. You can run over and do the early voting like I did on your lunch break. I was in and out of there in 5 minutes, okay? If need be, tell your boss, hey, I really want to vote. I'm not sure when early voting stops in East Idaho. So you might want to Google that up. Could be pretty soon. But swing by your local election office. Get her done. Let's get some young people out there voting. Voter turnout with people under 50. Seem like it sucks election after election. Let's change that up a bit. Come on. I've been voting in every election since I turned 18. What's up with all you people my age? Come on. Get out and get the job done. Anyway, let's do some more music. Sound good? And wish me luck on waking up. All right, I was just reading about a new movie being made, and had the Barbie movie never been made, I'd probably be a naysayer about this, going, this sounds terrible. But they could actually potentially do a pretty good job with this. The Oregon Trail, the comedy. You remember the game, The Oregon Trail? Some of you kids might not know what I'm talking about, some of you younger folks. But when I was a kid in school, the best day ever was when we got to go to the computer lab and fire up the Oregon Trail on those cruddy old Mac computers with the green screen. Oregon Trail, the game. Loads of fun, right? You have died from dysentery. I could see him making this movie pretty good. Because when I think about an Oregon Trail comedy, the first thing that comes to my head is the movie Cannibal the Musical. And I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's the first movie made by Trey Parker and Matt Stone of South Park fame. It's very, very funny. Very, very funny. It's a trauma movie. I don't know if you're familiar with trauma films, like The Toxic Avenger and such. It's very over the top. Probably not for everybody. It's kind of gross. kind of inappropriate. But, having seen that movie and how funny it is, it's like, yeah, there's definitely potential to make a movie about the Oregon Trail video game very silly. Because, yeah, again, the Barbie movie, I was like, how are they going to make this good? And I don't know if you've seen the Barbie movie, but if you haven't, I thought it was pretty great. It was really fun. So that's my recommended watch. I mean, yeah, it's Halloween time. Should probably be watching horror movies, but I don't know, depending on who you are, maybe the Barbie movie will scare you. No, it's just really funny. So it's really good. So, not sure when this movie is going to be made. It looks like they're just kind of in the production phase, but I'm all for it. But, guess we just got to wait and see. Some recent movies that were based on video games didn't do so well, so you just never know until these things are done. Those of you who saw Primus live in East Idaho here a few months ago, I guess you ended up getting an unexpected treat, getting to see the band with the original lineup as Primus drummer. Oh, sorry. I'm multitasking here, and I'm working on some Christmas music stuff for Classy, and it's not cooperating with me, and it's making me kind of crazy, so I'm a little bit distracted. Back to Primus. Original Primus drummer, Tim Alexander, unexpectedly left the band yesterday. Emailed the band, was like, nah, my heart ain't in it anymore. I'm done. I gotta go. So apparently Tool drummer Danny Carey gonna do some of their upcoming shows with them. But as for next year, Primus is saying they're gonna be on the hunt for the best drummer in the world. I know a couple good local drummers who I'd recommend try out for Primus. I don't know how you try out, but Steve McMichael. Yeah, there's my number one pick for drummer for Primus, Steve McMichael. Dan Ditto would be pretty great too. Sorry to all the other drummers who I forgot to mention. You're all great. Those guys are just my dogs, so I got to throw them out there as Primus recommendations. But yeah, I had no idea we'd be getting, potentially the final chance to see Primus with the original drummer right here in East Idaho a few months ago. It was a great show. Primus and Coheed. So yeah, congrats to the rest of you who were there along with me. I mean, hopefully Tim's doing okay. I don't know, just maybe burn out from touring. I don't know. It's a bummer though. But I'm sure they were going to get somebody really good to join in and keep that funk going on. All right. Just wanted to let you Primus fans know about the news. I'm going to get back to trying to figure out my Christmas music problem. Oh, wish me luck. All right, maybe this is part of the reason that animals are starting to fight back. I was reading about scientists from the University of California hanging out on a boat off the coast of Alaska to have a 20-minute conversation with a humpback whale. They used an underwater speaker to play recorded whale sounds, and then apparently used AI to analyze the responses they got as the whale was circling around the boat. I think that's pretty brave. What if the recorded sounds that you happen to be pumping down under that water to that whale are whale smack talk messages? Humpback whales may be able to communicate with them orcas. Next thing you know, they're teaming up, smashing boats. And then also, you get AI involved. What if you've got the, sentient AI teaming up with all of these creatures and ultimately plotting the downfall of humanity? Huh? It could happen, right? Sounds like something out of a movie. I don't know. Just getting kind of wacky on a Wednesday morning. My brain feeling a little bit scrambled today. I did fix my Christmas problem, so feeling a little bit better about that. Now it's just, the work that needs to be done. It's going to be a busy next 7 days for me. I got a lot to accomplish around here, so thankfully don't have to worry about any Any large creatures smashing into the studio and disrupting my work. Yeah. Careful out on them boats. Telling you. You never know if these scientists are going to give the wrong message. Make somebody really mad. And at least these are ocean-based creatures. At least they're not trying to communicate with like bears and mountain lions yet. Yet being the key word there. Okay, I guess I spoke too soon. I'm talking about the animals, or they're not animals, creatures in the ocean that scientists are trying to communicate with using AI. Like, oh, nothing to worry about. These are ocean-based creatures. No, very next thing I see, talking about scientists trying to learn what pigs are saying. I don't know if we want to start trying to communicate with animals. Past what we already do, like, good boy, that's a good boy. And that's enough, You might end up saying the wrong thing to them. Pigs eat people. How many horror movies have you watched? Have you ever played Red Dead Part 2? One of the ways to dispose of a body, go chuck it in the pig pen. We don't want to get computers talking with pigs. You always think that it's going to be machines taking over, with this AI thing. Get a sentient AI that all of a sudden starts powering all the robots and then they just take over, become our robot overlords. No, what if they're just going to end up communicating with animals and getting them to fight back? What if all the animals in the world turn against us? I know I'm a little bit out there today. Pig army? Yeah, think about it. What if somehow the AI is able to, like Planet of the Apes style, increase the intelligence in pigs? They start walking upright and fighting back. They can get really big. Then they start turning to their, friends, the wild boars. Wild boars are scary. They kill people all the time. I don't know about all the time, but it happens. They reproduce real fast. Most people think it'd be fun to be able to talk to animals. I don't know what's going on in my brain today, but to me, I got horror movies just pouring through my head. Planet of the Pigs. That might be a pretty cool movie, huh? Be great for Halloween time. Watch the movie Hannibal. It might make you think differently about getting computers to talk to pigs. All right, more creepy Halloween tunes, courtesy of our friends at No Limit Guitar Company. What did you do yesterday? I stopped by the election office on my way home. Talked about this earlier, but just want to let you know, if you've never tried early voting, it was pretty nice. Pretty nice. Lots and lots of polling stations. I got there, it kind of looked like a crowd. I'm like, okay. But there were so many polling stations and people working. I was in and out of there in like 5 minutes. So had never voted early before, but I liked the process. Nice and easy. I got it over with. Don't have to worry about crowds on Tuesday. So if you're absolutely sure how you're going to vote, you can get out and get her done. Now, if you're unsure, you're like, well, I might change my mind at the last minute. I need these next 6 days to really think about this and figure it out. Well, then, yeah, just go out and do it on Election Day. But just wanted to let you know the option is out there. And I found it to be very convenient. So you can pull up a sample ballot on your local county website. Find out all of the different initiatives, local races, that you're going to be looking at. Make sure to research candidates. I highly recommend that you research all of the issues and candidates so you go in knowing exactly what you want to do. Okay, sample ballot, pretty vital to pull up, because I had to do that during the last week and go, who are some of these people? Because for whatever reason, sometimes it can be difficult to find this information. What do these people stand for? What have they done in the past? What have they voted for in the past? What do they believe? So research, vote. I know, Peaches said like 2 days ago or something, I'm getting tired of people telling me to get out and vote. Well, whatever. I'm here to remind you that voting is important. Your vote does matter. And I'm going to say it for 6 more days. So then I'll shut up about it, okay? I was, like I mentioned earlier, looking at the voter turnout thus far in early voting. And as always, young people under 50, not quite getting the job done. Maybe they're all waiting for Tuesday. There is something fun about, getting out on election day and voting, but would love to see record turnout, especially with younger people, because I don't know. I've voted in every election since I was 18. I don't know why everybody else ain't doing it, other than perhaps, getting duped into thinking my vote don't matter or something like that. Your vote does matter, especially in these local elections. So, yeah, it's easy to register to vote. Bring, a utility bill or some kind of proof of address along with your ID to your polling station. You can register day of, and bam, vote. So you should do it. All right. Have you never done it before? It's easy. Okay. It's easy. And, yeah, I don't know. I walked away feeling good that I had done it. So why don't you give it a shot? I guess aliens are as concerned with some of the problems facing civilization as many of us are, and they're on the brink of launching an intervention to save Earth from total collapse. Yeah, I read it in the news. From the Daily Star. Yeah, aliens on the brink of instigating a potential intervention on the part of an extraterrestrial civilization in order to preserve the life-generating capacity of our planet. According to the government? No, not the government. Scientists? No. Some alien-loving lawyer named Danny Sheehan. And I guess he's been involved in bringing UFO whistleblowers to the U.S. Congress in recent years. So helping provide evidence of, government cover-ups regarding encounters with extraterrestrial beings. How he knows that they're, planning to intervene in the problems facing the world. I don't know. What is he, guessing? I talk to him every day. I don't know. The article, for some reason, there's a gigantic gap in it, and it's very hard to navigate on the fly. So I don't know exactly how he figured this out, but he said that they got all these secret bases. Maybe he's getting messages from them. Says there's a base outside of Sedona, over by a place called Secret Mount Wilderness. I've been considering a rapid-fire road trip to Phoenix to say hi to my daughter and see her new house. It'd be a rough road trip to bomb through Sedona on the way back and try to do it in a day. But, if there's a secret alien base, I got to go check that out, right? Okay, anyway. If I get the details on why this guy thinks that aliens are going to intervene, I don't know. I guess he's just hopeful somebody's going to help. Somebody's going to help us out here. Let's see. What else do we have in freak news? Yet another reason to just stay away from Florida. Biologists prove that invasive Burmese pythons are swallowing deer and alligators whole. And I'm looking at a picture here, it's kind of disturbing, of a snake swallowing a deer. Like, you got the hind legs and, rear portion of the deer sticking out of the snake's mouth. These snakes could eat people. How many people disappear in Florida? Horrifying. Yeah, I guess these things are rapidly reproducing. They're doing their best to eradicate the invasive species, but they're not doing well. And now they're consuming full deer and alligators. Ugh. Giant snakes. Terrible. Terribly gross. All right, what else do we have here? Jaywalking has been legalized in New York City. I guess they actually used to give people tickets for this. And I was in New York back in May. It's the only time I've ever been there, but I saw tons of jaywalking. I mean, downtown or Manhattan, it's actually such a cool area to walk around in. It's totally designed for foot traffic. The roads are pretty narrow, so bombing across the street, it's not like trying to jaywalk in Salt Lake, okay? And I'm not encouraging jaywalking because you might get hit by a car. But in New York, it was like, bam, quick jog across the road, you're there. I can't believe they would give people tickets in a place where there's probably like 1 million people crossing the street every day. But no longer. You can jaywalk there and you're not going to get a ticket. Just watch out for maniacs. The worst driver I've ever seen in my life was in New York. So, yeah, make sure to look both ways like 5 times. Somebody just might barrel down on you. Oh, terrible. All right. I got other stuff we're going to talk about throughout the show. Dennis trying to ruin Halloween, and Idaho's Guinness Book of World Records maniac David Rush making the news again. Well, good morning, Peaches.
Good morning to you, too.
How's it going so far?
You were in my dream last night.
Geez.
It wasn't great.
I was dreaming about you.
That's right. I was dreaming about you.
All right, what happened?
I was sitting right where you're sitting. I was at work, and it's a bright day. For some reason, it's almost all white in here.
Okay.
You're in your office, and I can hear you saying, I can hear you calling Jade on the phone going, Peaches is cussing in the office again, Jade.
Peaches is using naughty language in the hallway.
And I'm like, did you just snitch on me? And you're like, yeah, I did. What's wrong with that? And he started like fighting with me in my dream. And I was just like, what's going on when I woke up?
That's right. That's what you get for breaking this chair.
Would you stop blaming me? Don't blame me for that chair.
Well, I was going to put some blame on somebody today for ruining Halloween.
Uh-oh.
Dentists.
Oh.
Dentists are yet again trying to ruin Halloween.
Are they saying like,
kids.
these candies are not that great for your teeth?
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're encouraging people to, instead of giving out candy, to give out stickers and Play-Doh for Halloween.
I wouldn't mind that.
See, but kids eat Play-Doh. Is that good for your teeth
Well,
as
if
well?
you have a stupid kid, sure, go for it.
And I don't know why kids would want to eat Play-Doh. It doesn't smell good. I would imagine it
I love
doesn't
the smell
taste.
of Play-Doh.
You like the smell of it?
Yeah.
I think it's non-toxic. So
It has to be. It's a kid's thing.
Maybe we should do, Brad Eats with Play-Doh.
With Play-Doh.
And we just they have those little kits where you can make, little shapes, like little presses.
You know how
where you make the little food shapes out of your Play-Doh?
we would get made fun of if there's 2 radio DJs eating Play-Doh on the air?
Maybe it would go viral. We try all kinds of other, informative and fun content. So far we haven't had a 1 million view video. Why not eating Play-Doh?
We got to do something. Something nuts.
I don't know if any listeners have any ideas better than eating Play-Doh for going viral. Please let us know.
I say we just try to get an artist we don't like on Zoom and just say how much we hate them. that would go viral.
It probably would. Just I don't know. It's
like you interviewing James Blunt would probably go viral if you're like, I hate your voice. You sound like a whiny little girl. Stop it.
See, my problem is I can't ever be, mean to a band when I'm talking to them unless they're mean to me first. And generally, they're pretty nice, which is why I've changed my tune on a lot of bands. But like, that band sucks. Their music terrible. Then I meet them and they're real nice. I'm like, they ain't so bad.
Right.
They're pretty great. James Blunt's probably super nice. I bet he's super nice, even though he has the worst voice in music.
Even you two, I feel like Bono would probably be nice to you.
He'd probably be pretty nice. I'd have to give him a little grief for back in the day when they put their album on everybody's phones and nobody asked for it. Yeah, but you know what? Imagine if it was a really, really terrible artist that put their music on your phone. I made sure at the time I had an iPhone and I deleted that as fast as possible without listening to it. But, whoever gave them the idea to try that, it was a bad move. Definitely backfired. People didn't like that. Nobody likes things being forced on them, especially music, Takes up a lot of space on your phone. And it was already annoying enough to try to put music on your iPhone at the time. I don't know. I've heard that it's different now. Like you can download MP3s direct to iPhone. I actually just got a new iPhone from my friends at T-Mobile.
Oh, good for you.
I've got to get it all set up and things like that. I haven't got around to that because you know how long it takes to set up a new phone?
It's a lot shorter compared to how it used to be.
But see, my problem is my other phone is a Samsung, so I can't just like transfer most of the apps and things like that. I don't think. I think I got to get new versions. Hopefully, I can transfer all the contacts and stuff, but I don't know. I got to deal with that, and it takes a lot of time. So just haven't done it yet. But anyway, shout out to T-Mobile. It is a major first world problem.
It takes a while for me to transfer from my Samsung to my iPhone.
I've got a lot of other stuff going on. I'm trying to work on Christmas music, trying to work on music for the Hawk this week. This week's been crazy, man.
It has been.
And then, I'm trying to plan to take just a couple days off, and there's all that to deal with. This isn't like a normal job where you just, okay, I'm not going to be there. Bye.
Right.
Somebody else cover me.
You have to have like a team do all the best stubs for you, like Howard Stern.
Yeah, I need a team behind me to do all that stuff.
You got to get those podcast numbers up, and next thing you know, that's what Jade was sort of hinting at yesterday in the meeting. He was like, you guys get a viral podcast going. We could eventually get a team.
Well, the part of the problem that I'm seeing with podcast is maybe awareness. In case everybody doesn't know, our shows are available on demand. But I don't know. Like, the podcasts I listen to tend to have multiple hosts. And I am not on the comedic level of someone like Bill Burr, who does a solo podcast. And the only solo podcasts I listen to, they tend to be news-based. They're like political or something like that. So they're reading you news and playing all these clips and things, and that's not what my show is. It's just me babbling on about aliens and dumb crap like that.
Well, your numbers are great right now. So, and you've been doing this for how long?
They could be a lot better.
You have the skill to yap and yap and yap. I mean, that's not a bad thing for a guy who wants to talk on the air.
But, Josh and Chantel are kicking my butt.
Well, that's the thing, is that they're a married couple. They have more so like that Goody Two Shoes fan base, where it's like, oh, they're so clean and nice. Like,
I don't know. It's making me feel like my show sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't
that's how I'm
suck.
feeling. I know that I got people listening to the live show, and the live show I think is more fun for sure. But I got to figure out something to do with the podcast to make it better. And I don't know exactly what that is. I try to demand Jade hire me a co-host. And they're worried about other things, No budget from Jade coming my way.
Here's the thing. If Jade gets you a co-host, you know exactly how it's going to go down. It's going to be like every morning show. They're going to hire some random woman, and it's just going to be, this back and forth between you two. Eventually, it's going to turn to, how did this breakup happen? Call in right now. 208.
No, I would not do that kind of show. And I'm not averse to having a woman co-host, but if you got a co-host, you have to be able to seriously get along with them very well.
Well, who's looking for work right now? Kevin and Sluggo. Get them in here.
They've been posting stuff. They sure make it seem like they're about to go on to like K-Rock or something. Because
are they really going to go from
KLOS?
No, I think they were at K-Rock. Yeah, they were at K-Rock.
I think they were at KLOS. Yeah, no, I know Sluggo was at KLOS because he was the music or the assistant program director. And then started doing the afternoon show. But they were posting a lot about K-Rock. But again...
You're right, it was KLOS, sorry.
Yeah, to have a co-host, you have to really get along with them because you're stuck in that box with them 4 hours, first thing in the morning every day. And if you can't get along really well, it's going to be bad.
I've heard stories about Mark and Kim from years ago in L.A., and that was one of those like, oh, what's the number one thing that girls hate that guys do? Call in right now type of show. And they would fight with each other. I mean, like full on insult each other off the air, and then hop on the air and go, "It's Coast 103.5," and do this sweet, soft show.
I have witnessed many dual person shows that are that exact way. When the mics were off, fighting, they hated each other, and then listeners can kind of tell, even if they don't realize it, when two people don't actually get along.
Right.
When they're doing a fake show. And so I don't know, I'd be pretty leery of a co-host, really, just because that's a big commitment to, like, okay, every day, First person I got to put up with right at 6 a.m. It's nice to roll in here and it's like, it's just me. It's peace and quiet. You know, you roll in and get started on, your stuff over in the Cannonball studio.
Right.
It's nice and peaceful. And if the other person comes in and they're in a bad mood, 6 a.m., you can go somewhere else. Can't do that if you're trapped doing a morning show. So, I don't know. I'm just feeling like, I don't know. I thought I was doing pretty good for a while, but watching Josh and Chantel just crush me in podcast. I'm still ultimately ahead, but they're going to overtake me probably in like a week or two at the current rate.
Well, you see them posting every single day on Facebook that headliner stuff. Like, they're using their clips from the show
I need to do a little bit of that
on Facebook and YouTube every single day.
I'm killing them on YouTube. I'll tell you that. YouTube, I'm like crushing it, slaying. But podcast, I don't know. It could be better. So listeners, please help me. Please make me feel better about myself and listen to my podcast.
We got the voice guy now to help you with the listen to Victor's podcast now.
Well, yeah, and Josh has a bunch of that running throughout the day, and we have nothing. So I would think reminders throughout the day would probably be helpful. So, yeah, I should probably throw together that quick promo that we've talked about, and I just haven't got to.
You got to put that one together. You got to put the voting one together. You got to put the time change one together.
We need one of those from each of us.
That was said in the meeting on Monday.
Oh, okay.
We could do it together to make it easier.
Well, I could whip those out real quick.
Cool. All right.
I've got nothing on my plate. No, I'll throw those together real fast for you so we can get them running.
Yeah.
Anyway, listeners, listen to our on-demand shows. Boost my self-esteem.
Stop it. Come on now.
Come on.
You're the guy who claims to be the king.
I know. I'm not feeling like the king. Not if Josh and Chantel are catching up with me.
Nah, they're court jesters over there.
All right. Well, anyhow, everyone, podcasts are available on demand everywhere. Like, say you hate the music we play and you only like our talking. You get the whole show with none of the music. So you just get like an hour of talk or whatever.
I was listening to your show yesterday. It was pretty funny.
Well, thank you for giving me a listen, Peaches.
Yeah, it was funny listening to the, what was it though? Peaches hates these certain types of phrases. Let's hear this question from Ask Reddit.
Did you use that for your, to teach their own question?
No, I did a question that was like, what historical figure would you sit down and have a conversation with over tea?
Oh, okay. I wonder what my answer for that would be. Historical figure.
I said Teddy Roosevelt just because the stories that guy probably has is crazy. Some of them said Genghis Khan.
I don't think I'd want to sit down. You say the wrong thing. Genghis Khan, he killed a lot of people.
There was also a John Wilkes Booth that Stewart put, which made me laugh.
John Wilkes Booth?
His wife went, what the?
Yeah, why would you want to talk to him? There have to be much more interesting people from throughout history, like Da Vinci or someone, some of these really smart people from back in the day.
Someone else said Albert Einstein.
Einstein, yeah, exactly.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking
this
would be.
This tea is burning my mouth.
He'd tell you, some very interesting things. I definitely want to talk to somebody who was really smart, for sure, and see what they thought. Tell them about the future. Be like, here's what it's like now. And they're like, what?
That takes somebody from way back when to now.
That'd be pretty cool.
Show Abraham Lincoln an iPhone.
Like in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where they brought the guys from the past to the present.
Oh, yeah.
I think they sent Napoleon down a water slide, if I remember right. It's been a while since I watched that movie. It's classic. Well, anyhow, everybody, please listen to my show and subscribe and, rate it, even if you want to give it a low rating. The interaction's probably good. Idaho Guinness Book of World Record maniac David Rush, who we've talked about many times over the years, has set yet another record. Now, if you're not familiar with David Rush, he has the most concurrent Guinness World Records titles of anyone on the planet. He'll set a record for anything, all right? He comes up with wacky ideas, like I'm gonna be the best at blank, and they put him in the Guinness Book of World Records for all of these, what at times to me are very silly tasks. But hey, he's made a name for himself. He's putting Idaho on the map, I guess. So I can't fault him. But if you were curious what his latest record was, this would be sorting peanut M&Ms by color. And he set the record by sorting 17.6 ounces of peanut M&Ms by color in 57.78 seconds. Yeah, he was determined to break the record by completing the color sorting in under a minute. So you can watch video of this if you want to see a guy sorting M&Ms by color really, really fast. I would like to see somebody in Idaho try to take David Rush on, be like, you know what? I'm going to be the big Idaho Guinness Book of World Records guy. It's not going to be me, Victor Wilt. I don't got the time for this kind of thing. And I don't know how many Guinness World Records the guy has at this point. This particular article doesn't say. So you're going to have some serious catching up to do. But if you've ever wanted to be in the Guinness Book of World Records and have your name etched in history, this just goes to show you can do anything. And they will put you in the Guinness Book of World Records. Like, wonder if I could submit to them radio programmer who has played the most crushingly brutal metal on terrestrial radio. Winner, Victor Wilt. Because I keep an eye on what other rock stations around the country are doing. And I think at this point, I definitely got to be winning. You know? Got to be. Yeah, it probably takes a lot of time. You got to get somebody from the Guinness World Records in to verify your claims. I'd have to pull up a bunch of old data. Oh, it sounds like just too much work. Too much work for this guy. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, you could be like David Rush. You could make your way into the Guinness World Records. It's just going to take literally a little bit of effort. Not much. Today is the day before Halloween, as you probably know. All right, not too hard to figure that out. But you may have forgotten that tomorrow, Peaches and I are going to go over to No Limit Guitar Company, who have been powering our Halloween tunes this entire month. Tomorrow we've got the Nothing But Halloween Tunes playlist all set up. It's going to be great. I'm real excited for the playlist this year. But yeah, aside from their powering of our Halloween music, they also hooked us up with tons of awesome prizes this month. We've given away a couple electric guitars already, and tomorrow we're giving away the big grand prize package of an ESP LTD Aero 200 electric guitar, along with a PRS Sonzera 20 combo amp. $1,700 value for this electric guitar and amp package. And No Limit hooked us up with a bunch of additional prizes that we're going to draw winners for, such as a Yamaha amp. We've got a Fishman acoustic pickup. Got an awesome overdrive pedal for your electric guitar so you can crush it. And even a ukulele. So if you want to win any of these prizes, it's super easy. Just sign up in the K-Bear or Alt Apps. And if you happen to get into No Limit today, purchase some strings or a new instrument or whatever, get yourself an extra entry into the drawing. But yeah, you don't have to buy anything to get into the drawing. Just fire up the K-Bear or Alt Apps, enter to win. And tomorrow's the big day that we're going to draw winners for these prizes. So like I've been pointing out, even if you don't play guitar, I bet you know somebody who does, or you might know somebody who'd be interested in learning guitar. With Christmas right around the corner, you win a sweet guitar and amp package. Well, you're going to be the king of Christmas if you hook somebody up with that. So you might as well try. Tell you what, if I was eligible to win, you know I'd be entering every way possible. Because this is an ESP LTD. My favorite brand of guitars. Flying V style, the Aero. I would love to have that in my possession, but I can't win. You can. So sign up in the K-Bear and Alt Apps. Good luck to you. We'll draw winners tomorrow. And make sure to let everybody know if they're looking for the ultimate Halloween soundtrack. We got it hooked up sweet tomorrow. Kicking off at midnight tonight. Nothing but Halloween tunes till Hard Drive XL tomorrow evening. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, good luck. Thought this thread might be fun. What was the most ridiculous reason why someone questioned your masculinity? There's a lot of guys out there right now that are very concerned about their masculinity. You know, we've seen the rise of the manfluencer, the alpha males. And, you know, I think a lot of these guys, I don't know. I think that they're really stretching sometimes and trying to prove how manly they are. And have you ever noticed that a lot of these alpha dudes, manly dudes, especially the influencers online, are they just not the whiniest people ever? Endlessly, meh, meh, everybody's trying to take away my manliness. Like, dude, so anyway, I would imagine that some dudes have had their masculinity questioned by these alpha male types, and I'm interested to see what these responses are online. Oh, right out of the gate, I just kind of scanned this one. I guess I'm not very manly, because I talk about books a lot. This guy said, I was reading a book on my lunch break while I was working construction and got a bunch of crap about reading being for women. I would like to encourage all of you to read, please. I can't imagine how much better the world would be if people actually read. Like, especially when it comes to things like news. You know? Instead of reading into, what's actually happening, digging up the facts, they just let some pundit on TV tell them what's going on. Please read. Like, pick up a good book. Read. It's a great exercise for the mind, and it's not unmanly to read. What, you reading books, bro? What's wrong with you, man? You need to lift some weights is what you need to do. No, exercise your brain a little bit. Nothing wrong with lifting weights and exercising, but reading? Okay, let's see here. One of my groomsmen went on a social media rant about men being less masculine nowadays and used me as an example. He said it was because I cried when my wife was walking down the aisle. Again, back to these online influencer guys, the alphas, being some of the whiniest dudes that I've ever seen. I'm so persecuted. Everybody's picking on me. Everybody's, being manly's not cool anymore. But so just because the tears ain't pouring down their face doesn't mean they ain't crying and whining every day. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with crying, dudes. Nothing wrong. It's good for you. Talk to a therapist about this. It'll bring some healing into your life. You let it bottle up inside you, you're going to give yourself some major health issues, letting that kind of anxiety, stress, and heartbreak build up inside of yourself. Cry every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with it. We're built to do so. It's a way to give your body relief. All right, let's see what else we got here. Unmanly things. Ridiculous reasons men have had their masculinity questioned. I gave a guy a report and it had a pink paper clip on it. What'd you bring me this with a pink paper clip, man? All right, you may have heard me talk about pink clothing before, saying I would never wear it. That's just because it's like my style. I wear all black clothing all the time. I'm just not comfortable wearing pretty much anything colorful. You ever seen me in a white t-shirt? No different than pink. I'd probably be more likely to wear a pink t-shirt than a white one, because every once in a while I'll be like, I'm going to get wild, and I'll throw on like a tie-dye. I'm like, look at me and get crazy. I got a tie-dyed shirt on. But yeah, if somebody brings you something that's paper clipped together with a pink paper clip, like, what are you using? Some kind of wuss? Why are you using a pink paper clip? I really think that you've got some issues going on. I really think that most of these dudes that are so obsessed with manliness and masculinity are extremely self-conscious. Like, way, just, I don't know. I don't know what kind of a analogy I was looking for here, but we'll just go back to extremely self-conscious. If a pink paper clip makes you uncomfortable, you could consider talking to a therapist. All right, here's another one here. These are making me laugh because so far I don't see anything in here that is not, or that would be unmanly. We're literally talking about paper clips. Quoting from what I've been told, for speaking very softly, being polite, and being kind. All right, alpha dudes, tell you what, if you want to find yourself a quality woman and get in a quality relationship that's going to last, being polite and kind will probably go a long way. All right? The kind of person who's going to put up with someone just being a general turd as their personality, it's not going to be a quality relationship. All right? And I hope, are there ladies out there really into these manfluencer dudes? The guys that just whine online about men being persecuted? It's so funny to me. Guys whining about being persecuted. Shut up. Shut up already. Stop your whining. That's all it seems like to me is just whining. It's so cringy to watch here. Oh, let's see here. It's already 9:04. Let's bail out on the... It's just going to continue going on. Somebody said that, your apartment's clean? It's pretty unmanly. Like, dude, now maybe you're trying to actually impress the ladies or have a little bit of pride in your home. It feels pretty nice when your place is clean. Mine's kind of a mess right now, and I don't like it. I guess I'm just trying to be more manly. All right, what's something that everybody knows, but nobody actually says out loud? I'm very interested to see what the responses here are, because a lot of times it'll be things that, no, actually, nobody's ever thought that, or, people say that out loud all the time. What are you talking about? Well, let's see what the responses are online. Some people don't apologize because they have remorse for what they did. They apologize because they think it will end the conflict. People say that out loud all the time. You ever been in a conflict with somebody and you say, I'm sorry. And they're like, you don't mean it. You just want me to shut up. So right out of the gate, we've got something that, well, maybe everybody knows it, but plenty of people have said it out loud. I hate these responses on Threads sometimes. Like, read the question, and if you don't have an accurate response, you don't need to respond to every question, but some people are thoroughly engaged in social media. Let's keep going here. Money absolutely matters. Well, I think people have said that out loud. Like, money can't buy happiness. You hear that saying? I guarantee that having money compared to having zero money, if you can afford to have a roof over your head, that is a level of happiness that money has bought. All right? Money can absolutely buy happiness. Now, I don't know if it can buy true happiness. There are plenty of extremely wealthy people out there that don't seem very happy. All they do is just work and work and work. They seem kind of curmudgeon-y. Money can buy happiness to a degree. If you have your basics, like if you can afford food, shelter, medical care, you're able to every once in a while do something fun. I think there's probably a certain line at which point money no longer buys happiness, but having your basic life necessities covered, I guarantee you're going to be happier than if you don't. So, okay, money does absolutely matter, and I do think people have pointed that out before. Okay, looks matter, and they matter a lot. Let's see, and we've got a big discussion going on with this here. Looks determine whether you will get a job, if you can get a date, or if a person in public will be nice to you or give you contempt, and definitely how people perceive you. This is true. This is absolutely true. All right? Take it from someone who's kind of weird looking. All right? People have told me, you're scary looking many times. All right? I recall back when we used to do these trick-or-treat street things with the radio station. We'd go out. It was like a trunk or treat. I remember one. All I did was put on a wig. Just a black wig with silly hair. Kind of messy black hair. And at least one child took one look at me and just started bawling. And, okay, back to just basic looks. I'll tell you what. Once I got my teeth straightened, after I got braces, people are definitely different to you. If you got straight teeth, then crooked teeth. They just are. People were, they treated me like garbage in school because of crooked teeth. And it's like you're just born that way. My family couldn't afford braces. I wasn't able to get braces till I was like 30. I had to pay for it myself, you know? Try not to judge people based on their looks. We've talked about it many times here on the station. Metalheads, generally, nerds that are super nice. Talk to anybody who works at a concert venue. Ask them about which crowds are the best and which crowds are the worst. Always going to hear that the rock and metal crowds are the best and that the country crowds are the worst as far as behavior. Not trying to say anything about you cowboys, but that's just what I've been told. All right? I never had a metalhead walk up to me at a bar and go, "You ain't from around here, are you?" No, these were, small town hillbillies that said that to me. And they probably said it because of the way I look, even though I was from around there. I almost went off on a political tangent here, too, because I keep seeing people... Screw it, I'll go off on a little political tangent. I keep seeing people talk about all of the liberals that have moved in here. And I've pointed this out before. I have yet to meet, post-pandemic, liberals who moved to Idaho. Every liberal I know, born and raised here. And so it does make me kind of crazy when people are like, Idaho's only this way. It's like, I don't know. I know a lot of people who've always been here that contradict your claims. But anyway, let's see. What other things do we have here? Things that everybody knows, but nobody said. Maybe that's one. I'll throw my own in there. There are lots of liberals in Idaho, and they've always been here. Be nice to each other. That's what I hate about this division. It's so stupid. My entire life, I could have political discussions with people, and it was always fine. Walk away friends. Now you got people who won't talk to their family members. That's just messed up and wrong. Well, again, multiple political viewpoints has always been a thing in Idaho. Go back and look at earlier elections in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Kind of crazy. Idaho was kind of blue. What? I guess all the people moved out and moved to California back in those days. Got tired of the snow. Let's see. Other things that everybody knows but nobody says out loud. Brown nosing works. Yes, it does. What, you got a boss that you could, schmooze a bit? Hey, boss, good to see ya. Maybe I should start being nicer to Jade when he walks in. I do the opposite. Jade walks in, I'm like, "Oh, leave! Please go away. I don't want to see your face." Other bosses, though, I'd always be pretty kind. I'm brown nosing, I guess, you could take it too far. That's for sure. All right, other things that everybody knows but nobody says out loud. This one I've thought about a million times in my life. That being alive at all and conscious is just really, really weird. Is it not the craziest thing to be stuck inside of your body and your own head, experiencing the world? To me, it's the weirdest thing ever. How do I know that everyone else is experiencing life the same way as me? It's bizarre to be stuck in my own body. It's crazy. All right, anyway. Looks like people are starting to get into more unpleasant things that everybody knows but nobody says out loud, so we'll skip that.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
Yeah, a little bit of Cue the Outrage on the Victor Wilt Show. Well, I hope I don't run over that pen I just dropped on the floor with my chair here. Okay, I was reading an article about voting, and apparently some people are losing their minds at the thought that their spouse might secretly vote differently than them. Oh, no! Just want to remind everybody, you can vote however you want, and you don't have to tell anybody who you voted for. Voting is a secret process. It's anonymous, I went in and did early voting yesterday, which was great. It was super quick. I already knew how I was going to vote on everything, all the different initiatives, the local races, the presidential race. So I knew there was no chance I'd be changing my mind by election day. Figured I'd just get it over with, go in and vote. And there were a lot of people in there voting, all different ages. I would have liked to see more young people in there, but we all stood or sat down and did our voting and went about our day. And nobody knows how anybody was voting. So, when it comes time to vote, just a friendly reminder that even if all your family and friends tend to go a certain way, you don't have to. You can think for yourself. I would remind you this not just during election times, but during all times of life. Think for yourself, all right? And don't worry about what others think you need to be doing. You be you. And yeah, it was just so funny. You shouldn't be telling your spouse how to vote anyway. That's some weird kind of insecurity as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I can't imagine being in a relationship with somebody where you think differently politically, but some people are. But yeah, just a friendly reminder. Nobody's going to know who you vote for. You can tell them you voted for whoever, but at the same time can vote for whoever you want. It's secret. So, yeah, don't let anybody bully you into voting a certain way. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. This is your vote. It's your right to vote for whoever you want. But the people who are so mad about this, very, very funny to me. It's like, yeah, you might want to consider everybody's a unique individual and they might think differently than you on a variety of things. So think for yourself. As Tool used to play at the beginning of all of their shows, think for yourself, question authority. Sorry, I'm going to tell the end of time and encourage free thinking. I think it's good. Kind of like how earlier I encouraged you to read. Even if some dudes say reading's not manly. I still don't get that one. That was a strange thread that I went through. Anyway, I'll be back.
Starstruck. I was like, ugh. Wanted to talk to him, and one of my first encounters with a celebrity. Because I used to watch that relentlessly back in the day.
Dude, have you watched the newer episodes of Unsolved Mysteries?
I have not.
I mean, he's not the host anymore.
He's long dead.
Yeah, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good. That show always, disturbed me as a child.
I was like, oh, this is great. Let's watch more. Now go to bed.
And this was back in the day, kids, when you had, if you didn't have cable, you had just a few channels. And I think it would be on one of them, Sundays or something.
Something like that. And you'd have to get the antenna just right with the right amount of tinfoil to get it.
Yeah, because I think our basement TV had cable, but then the upstairs TV didn't. So you had 3, 6, and 8.
That sounds right.
Because nobody wanted to watch Channel 10, with Sesame Street and all that old people stuff. But, kids have no idea how good they have it now. It's when I see people talk about how, things back in the day were so much better. It's like, no, it wasn't. I was alive back then. It was not better. I was sitting in front of my big TV recently, and I'm looking at all the different streaming services. This giant flat screen's got great picture.
That's lightweight, hung on the wall.
Yeah, and I'm just flipping through. Yeah, because
the old ones you could crush a building with.
Dude, I remember I helped Howie Rock move a TV out of his basement when he was moving to Salt Lake.
That was a bad idea.
And it was one of the big boxes, but it must have been a 40-incher or something.
Did it have the speakers built into it? It's like a nightstand at the same time?
Yeah. So that was a monster TV back then. Oh my gosh, was it heavy. I mean, it weighed way more than my TV. But scrolling through, we got all these different streaming services.
Nothing to watch.
Yeah, and now the problem is, I have too many choices. And there's tons of just free stuff. You have Pluto and Tubi and Freevee, YouTube, tons. You don't have to actually subscribe to all the garbage I do pay for.
you never watch because there's nothing on it.
Yeah. And you could be entertained all day. I mean, free video games, for example. If you have any video game system, you can just get free video games. You go into their online store, if you have the internet, free video games. I have so many free PlayStation games that I've never touched them. Never touched them. Back in the day, you'd drop $60 and you'd just hope that game don't suck. And it probably had about an hour of playtime.
That's why I stopped playing video games after the original NES.
Oh, you missed out on a lot of good games then, Jade. You need to get into gaming, man.
Mario Brothers 3, can't beat it.
Well, that's still one of the greatest games of all time, for sure. But the thing with those old systems is
You got to play them till the end. There's no saving.
no saving for sure. And those games, some of them are extremely hard. Like
yeah.
playing old school games with my kids is really fun because I can crush them at the old games. New games, no, they destroy me. all the first person shooters and stuff like that. But old gaming systems, the only bad thing is there are only, and it probably is the same for even the modern systems, you've still only got a handful of games that are actually good and like 10 million terrible games, just like trying to find something to watch on Netflix or whatever. Look at all this garbage. But no, I do not miss the days of cable. Yeah, just flipping through those 30 channels.
Giant tube TVs.
Yeah, remember the ones that they were made out of like actual wood? And they'd sit on the floor.
That's what I was describing earlier, where the speakers are built into them like a nightstand. Those things weighed a ton.
When I moved into my house in Burley, somebody had left one of those in there that was broken. And I'm like, oh, why didn't they get rid of this? And
Just set the new TV on top of it.
no, what we did is in Burley, everybody, at least back then, shared a big garbage can out in the alley, bigger than the ones we
I think
get.
you told me about this.
So we took it out, and I mean, it took like 3 of us to get it out there and lift it up high enough to get it in the dumpster. And then we sat back and listened, and we heard the garbage truck eat that TV. It was the most amazing sound ever.
But you don't have a recording of a K-Bear Seeker sound.
Yeah, well, back then, that was like I probably had maybe a flip phone or a Nokia or something, There was no
The indestructible phones.
Yeah, there was no taking video with
Throw
your
that in
phones.
the dumpster in the garbage can. The garbage truck would try and eat it, and it would break the garbage truck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those phones were fantastic.
It's probably good that there wasn't video cameras, easily accessible back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so glad most of my youth doesn't exist.
Absolutely. Thank you again for tuning in to the Victor Welch Show. This program's a production of River. Why can't I say that? God.
I have to say Riverbend Media Group.
Riverbend Media Group. This program's a production of God. This program's a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.